Alright, welcome back. So the next thing you need to know basically is how to move around in the viewport. It's a very essential part of modeling in Maya is knowing how to move around your model as you're modeling. And so we need something in the screen to use an example. So we can go just to the first object here, and it's a sphere, and if you click on it, it appears in the middle of the screen. So now what? Well, okay. Well, one of the first things you can do is hit F, and it zooms in on the model. And not only does it zoom in on it, but it frames it. So what does that mean? Well, what that means is once you start moving around the viewport, the sphere now always becomes in the center. You see, it's the center of focus, and it allows you to easily work on the sphere without it going a bit crazy. For example, you could lose control of your camera work, and let me give you a quick example. Let's just say it's off to the side and you can't find it, and this sometimes happens. You like, hang on, I'm finding it really difficult to work on this sphere. Every time I move around, I can't really see it. Hit F, and it focuses on the model, and so now it's very easy to kind of work on it. Alright, so that's that bit done. Now for the camera angle itself, you want to hold down Shift Alt and then left mouse button, and then that allows you to just spin or rotate the camera around the model. Now the reason why I'm holding down Shift is because it constrains to one axis at a time, so it gives you smooth actions. Now if I let go of Shift and just do Alt, it's kind of like a freestyle, so you move in like different axes at the same time. So it's it's a bit crazy. It's too crazy for me, so I hold down Shift, and Shift just controls the movement better. So Shift Alt left mouse button to rotate. Now Shift Alt middle mouse allows you to pan up and down, and then let go of the button, and then middle mouse again, and this time left and right. So you've got to let go of the button to change directions. See, I'm trying to go up and down, it won't let me. I've got to let go of the middle mouse button and then click it again to go up and down, and then let go and then click it again to go left and right. And then finally the right mouse button. Now you don't need Shift for this, it's just Alt right mouse button and it zooms in and out. So left mouse button, middle mouse button, right mouse button, and all the while I've been holding down Shift and Alt. Although you don't have to hold down Shift for the right mouse button when it comes to zoom in and out. So just practice that. Once you kind of get good at it, it becomes second nature. You start doing it without thinking. The other thing is to press spacebar, and it took me into the side view. Press spacebar again, perspective view, side view. Now normally it doesn't do that, and this is just because the way I saved my last project in Maya. So you might think, well, what's going on here? Well, if you have a situation like this where it's only giving you one view at a time, you can press this little icon here. It's a 4 view, and there you go. So now perspective view. Okay, you can see it here. So every time I'm changing view, I'm pressing spacebar. So press spacebar, and it's 4 view. Now Maya will go to a particular view once you hover your cursor over it. So if I just want to see the top view, make sure your cursor, you can see the little arrow here, is in the top view, and so now it just shows the top view. Now it just shows the front view, perspective, side view. So I'm pressing spacebar all the time, and there you have it. Now the other thing is, if you take a look at the tools here, these are selection tools. Now you can use the shortcuts WER. So W is move. So now I can actually move this sphere around. You see, now I'm clicking on one of the axes here. Control Z, I'm just bringing the sphere back into the center of the scene. But if I click on the center of this manipulator here, I'm moving this sphere around the scene like that. So E is rotate, and then R is scale. And again, if I do one axis at a time, this is what happens. You see, or in the center, which will scale all three axes at the same time. So WER. So let's go back to W move. I just want to show you something that's pretty important. If you hold down W and click, you can see it says object and world. It also says loads of other things, but the two main things are object and world. Let's just go into world at the minute because we're an object. Now you don't really see the difference between object and world when the object is just in the center. As you can see, look, world, object. Nothing really happens. We're an object. Now let's go back to world. Nothing happens. But what happens when you move your object? So I'm going to move it here and I'm going to like rotate it like that. Okay. W. Let's go back to move for now. W, left mouse button click, we're in world. Object. Now the manipulator changes. World. Object. World. Object. You see? Now world mode means this, the blue axis, which is Z, will always be forward and backwards. And the X, which is red, will always be left and right. And the green, which is Y, will always be up and down. That's the world, you see. The manipulator is following the world. But now, when you switch to object, the manipulator is following the object. We're now moving in object space. So in object space, this is now forward. So if you imagine this to be like the front of the sphere here. Now this is forward in object space. However, in world space, this is forward. Object forward, backwards, down, up, up, down, but in this direction. And it's the same E for rotate. As you can see, we are rotating in object space and then world space. R for scale, hold down R, world. There we go, that's world, object. Alright, so we'll leave it there for now. Quite a bit there to digest if you haven't used Maya before. Practice that, and I'll see you next video.